Reading makes a full man, confronts a ready man, and writing an exact man. Viewers, today we will discuss one of the very important essays of Bacon, of Studies. It is also one of the most quoted essays of Bacon. So let's critically analyze it and discuss it in detail. Viewers, in the first part of the essay, Bacon tells us about the uses of the study or the advantages of the study. In the beginning of the essay, Bacon writes, "Studies serve for delight, for ornament, and ability." Bacon gives three big or important advantages of study. First is the delight. Bacon says that people study for personal enjoyment in seclusion, retirement, or privacy. He says that when people are alone, when no one is around them, they read different books and they enjoy it. They get delighted and they become happy. The second use is ornament. Bacon says that we are able to impress people with the depth of our knowledge in each case. Bacon says that studies are like ornament. We are able to impress the people through our speech and through our writing. The third use of study or advantage of study, Bacon says, is ability. Ability in practical business to handle the affairs of life successfully. Bacon believes that studies develop abilities in people, and through those abilities they can look at the affairs of life and the things that are getting around in a better and impressive way. So these are the three important uses or advantages of studies: delight, ornament, and ability. Furthermore, Bacon believes that studies develop natural abilities. Then Bacon compares natural abilities with plants. As you can see it on the screen in inverted commas, they perfect nature and they are perfected by experience. For natural abilities are like plants that need pruning and study, and studies themselves do give fourth direction too much at large, except they be bounded in by experience. Now, Bacon says that our abilities are like plants. We, as the gardener, he trims the plants, he takes care of the plants. In the same way, we must take care of our abilities. Now you can again see it on the screen. As a gardener provides pruning to tree, in the same way, books provide training and guidance to human faculties. So Bacon believes that books are extremely important for the training and guidance of human beings. Then Bacon discusses the abuses or disadvantages of studies. First, if we spend too much time and waste our time over the theoretical aspect of things instead of applying our knowledge to a specific life situation, we encourage the habit of sloth or laziness. Now here, actually, the Bacon means that if we are reading too much books and we are limited to books and practically we are not doing anything, then that study is useless. Second, to make an excessive and needless display of learning in an artificial, unnatural pretense. In the second point, he says that sometime when people study too much, they try to display their learning, they try to show it off. That is again a disadvantage or abuse of studies. Third, too much study may develop in us a tendency to separate studies from practical use of book learning. Viewers, in a nutshell, we can say that Bacon actually wants a practical learning. For example, if you are reading from the book and practically you are not doing anything, it means that study is useless, or that is the abuse of the studies. So our studies, the books, whatever we are reading, they must be applied in practical life. Viewers, and the third part of the essay, Bacon tells us about types of men in relation to study. Bacon says that there are three types of men. The first, crafty men. And when he tells us about them, he says, they don't understand the significance of studies, they condemn studies, and they think that their shrewdness and ingenuity will supply the place of life experience. So they are the people who hate studies, and they believe that with their decisive or their cheap type of nature they can achieve everything. The second type of people, that is simple men, and Bacon says they admire studies, they are virtuous, open-minded and innocent. They understand the utility of studies in their lives, but they are unable to make the best use of studies. The third category or the third type of man in relation to study is wise men, and Bacon says they know the proper use of studies and they utilize studies in best ways. So these are the three types of men: crafty men, simple men and wise men. Viewers, in the fourth part of the essay, Bacon tells the rules of the study. He tells that what should be the rules of study. Bacon says, read not to contradict and confuse, nor to believe and take for granted, nor to find talk and discourse, but to weigh and consider. So Bacon is giving us the way or the rules for the study. The first, don't be too apt to reject the views of authors of book even if you disagree with them. Sometimes what happens when readers are reading the books, they read for contradiction. They read that they will reject the views of the author. But Bacon says that you should not read with this purpose, even if you disagree with the writer, but you should not openly reject those views. Second, similarly, one should not accept the printed words as a kind of Bible. The views of the authors are not the universal truth. You must not believe in them blindly. So in the second part, Bacon says that the views or the ideas of the author, they are not the words of the Bible, and you should not believe them blindly. You should give your own opinion. You should think before believing in those ideas. And thirdly, we should develop a habit of properly evaluating the worth of opinions expressed in books by using our powers of critical judgment. So Bacon says that whenever you are reading, you must read your own critical judgment. You should not blindly reject the ideas of the author, and you should not blindly follow the ideas of the author. They are not the words of the Bible, but he says that you must use your critical judgment. You must evaluate the ideas. You must critically evaluate the opinions of the author, then develop your own opinion about that book. Viewers, in the fifth part of the essay, Bacon gives us the classification of books. He tells us about different books. There is a famous line in his essay, as I read: some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. First, now actually he gives the three different categories of books. The first category, there are some books to be read in parts. Maybe those are less important books. The second category of book, there are some books for general studies, and such books are to be read wholly but rapidly. You give them a mere reading without much concentration. So these are the types of the books where you read completely but with less concentration. And the third category, there are some books, very important books, the content of which are to be read with thoroughly and inwardly digested. They must be read carefully and in much detail. Now this category is the most important category of the books. Bacon says that you must read those books with full concentration, and you must read those books with thoroughly, and you must apply the ideas of those books in your practical life. Viewers, in the sixth part of the essay, Bacon tells us about the modes of the study. There is again a famous line of Bacon: reading maketh a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. So Bacon again tells that there are three modes of study. The first is reading, second is conference or conversation, and third is writing. Now in the first part he says, reading makes a man a scholar, an informed person, and a full man, and the object of reading should be to acquire knowledge. In the second part, conference or conversation, he says conversation makes a quick-witted man a ready man. The aim of conversation should be to acquire readiness in making a response or a reply. The third part, that is writing, Bacon says, writing makes you an exact man. It gives the talent of accuracy in expression. So he believes that writing is the most important modes of study. Viewers, in the seventh part of the essay, Bacon tells us about the value of studying different subjects. He analyzes different subjects and tells us their values. Firstly, he says, history makes a man wise. When you read history, you become a wise person. Secondly, poetry makes a witty man. Bacon believes that when you read poetry, it makes you a witty person. Third, mathematics develops a power of concentration. It helps to acquire sublime in your life. Fourthly, natural philosophy makes mind deep. When you read a natural philosophy, you start thinking deeply about the things. Fifth, ethics makes serious mindset and thoughtful. And sixth, logic, he says, it develops a power of debate and argument. In this portion of the essay, the Bacon is also using a Latin quotation, as I read, Abunt studia in mores. That means studies pass into character and become part and parcel of man's nature. He said that when you study, that becomes the part and parcel of your nature. Viewers, in the last part of the essay, Bacon says studies are cure for mental disease. Then he says, as physical exercises are designed to cure physical defects and disease, just as bowling is good for kidneys, shooting for lungs, walking for digestion, and riding for head, so mathematics is good for wondering wits, philosophy is good for confused thinking, and log is for an unsteady memory. So Bacon believes that studies are very important to cure mental disease and disorders. He says that as physical exercises are very necessary for physical health, then he says that reading books are also necessary for mental fitness. Viewers, thank you very much for watching this video, and please don't forget to like, comment and share this video, and more important, subscribe to this channel, and hoping to meet you soon in some other video. Till then, goodbye.